Things are for the warriors. All those late nights walking through front doors at daybreak. Raise all of your glasses high. This one's to all of us sitting around here on Friday night.
Brought to you from the reputable source of Urban Dictionary, we have the definition of the weekend warrior. It's a person who holds a regular job during the week which restricts their ability to party, go on trips, partake in awesome activities, and thus plans epic weekend adventures to compensate. As much variation and quantity of awesomeness is packed into the weekend as physically possible. And that's what we're bringing to you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Weekend Warriors Fishing Podcast. My name is Brandon Cater from Amped Up Angling.
And my name is Logan Lewis of BPL Fishing, and we are your hosts for the Weekend Warrior Podcast.
So we are from Saskatchewan, Canada, the prairies. And we've been talking about this for quite some time now, eh, Logan?
Yeah, it's just went fishing together for the first time, but we've talked about this on Instagram and stuff for a while, and it's nice to finally get it going.
Yeah, I think we both tried to maybe start one up solo, and we both kind of figured out that it wasn't as easy as it sounded, so we decided to tackle it as a team.
Yeah, it's a lot easier when you have someone else to talk to. I tried recording a couple episodes, and it's just impossible for me to talk to myself in my basement here. It's nice to have someone to bounce ideas off and whatnot.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess we kind of introduced ourselves a little bit. Let's kind of maybe tell our listeners kind of how we got into fishing and a little bit about our fishing backgrounds. So if you wanted to start.
Yeah, I guess for myself, fishing had always, when I was younger, at least fishing had always kind of been a thing that was around, but definitely wasn't taking it. I don't know if I'd say seriously, but not into it as near as much as I am now. And just over the years, started with just fishing out at Buffalo Pound Lake here in Saskatchewan, and going out in the old aluminums with our friends and kind of learning the ropes there. And then I don't know what it was, but probably I'd say maybe around grade 10 or 11. Something just clicked, and that's when the whole addiction started.
Addiction, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just kind of from there it's grown and grown into what it's kind of become today for me. So, how about yourself?
Pretty similar story. I mean, I think everybody's story kind of is similar. I do have a little bit of a twist to mine. I mean, growing up, my dad always loved to fish. I grew up with a cabin, a camper, and then a cabin on Fishing Lake, Saskatchewan. It's a pretty well-known walleye fishery. We did the open water thing. I never ice fished in my life until 3 years ago when I met my girlfriend. She introduced me to ice fishing. At the time, I was playing hockey, ended up getting some concussion issues, and I needed to find something to fill my time during the winter. And it just so happened that I fell into the ice fishing pool of things, and man, it's gone up from there. That's for sure. I've been fishing all year round for the last 3 years.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I was just gonna say. I think that's a big thing with both of us having played hockey during the winter here, especially up in Canada. You don't have a lot of time on the weekends to go out and play, especially when you played kind of in the leagues that we played. You're traveling a lot and you practice during the week, and then the weekends are game time kind of things. So spending a whole Saturday on the ice wasn't really a thing. You'd maybe have the odd Saturday or Sunday off where you could go and do something like that. But now that we have our weekends free, it's definitely easier to do.
Yeah, I mean, if I wasn't in the hockey rink, we were snowmobiling, so it's pretty hard to find time between all the things when you're younger and you're in all these activities and that type of thing. But yeah, my dad never ice fished, like, ever. I think maybe he went once before I was born. So I'm just kind of getting him into it now too. So it's definitely been fun, like the whole aspect of learning the process. At first when you first get on the ice, you don't think it's safe, and then now you're just, I don't want to say fearless, but like you just itch to get out there.
I'd say it's a respect. You have more of a respect for it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's my kind of my background is open water walleye fishing since I was a little gaffer, and now just kind of everything.
Yeah, I guess that's similar to me too. My dad fished. Him and his buddies always had a big fly-in trip up north that they would do. But um, I think for what me and you do now, Brandon, I can't necessarily speak for you, but I'm going to say that our dads were similar in the fact that they weren't doing what we're doing on the weekends and into it as much. But it was nice to have that kind of upbringing where that was a thing that was showed to you, and could kind of take it on ourselves and kind of blow it out of proportion to what it is now.
A little bit. I mean, it's a little bit easier nowadays with social media and all the companies and stuff. I'm kind of leaning heavy on that as well. So
So I guess when we come to why we're starting this podcast here in this introduction episode, at least when like we mentioned earlier, me and Brandon both thought about starting our own kind of thing, and those didn't pan out. But I think we had similar ideas in the sense of where we are in Western Canada here, specifically Saskatchewan. There's fishing podcasts out there, but we thought that there's not a ton that pertain to us as much as we would like, kind of thing. And there's lots that we like to listen to out there, but we kind of thought that there was a bit of a gap here, that there's so many great fishing opportunities and great fishermen and fisherwomen out there that should have some light shone on them, and lots of good programs that are going on out here. So we figured that that would be something that we could showcase with this. And we both love fishing and talking about fishing and everything like that. So kind of what better place to do that than a podcast, where we get to learn so much about fishing, no matter who the guest is, whether it's a guide, a researcher, industry insider, kind of things like that. I think there's lots of potential for us to learn, and then anyone who's listening as well.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we both listen to podcasts and specifically fishing podcasts. A lot of the podcasts I listen to are from down in the States, the Midwest. Minnesota is where most of the podcasts I listen to in the fishing industry come from. So I think it's definitely needed to bring a little bit of information and spotlight to anglers from the prairies and Canada, for that matter. So I'm just super excited to get this rolling, and I think we have a great list and queue of guests that we're going to be having on the show. So I think there's going to be a lot of information shared and a lot of entertaining episodes for listeners. And yeah, I couldn't be more excited to get this rolling with you.
Yeah, and I think one thing that we wanted to emphasize that we were talking about off air is that we are by no means any kind of professional. We are the literal
Absolutely
term of
not.
a weekend warrior. We both hold Monday to Friday, 8 to 5 kind of jobs, kind of thing, and this is just what we do with any spare time we have, whether it's out on the ice fishing or out in the boat fishing or researching things like that. Like we're by no means claiming to be any kind of professional in any of the sense, but I think we know and can get on some pretty interesting people that can bring that kind of knowledge and whatnot that could be pretty valuable to lots of people.
I think that's the interesting aspect of this, right? I mean, the podcast is called the Weekend Warriors Fishing Podcast. We named it that for a reason, because that's who we are. We literally come home in the evenings, on the weekends. We fiddle around with our fishing gear. We plan fishing trips on the weekends. We have that same angling itch as most of you. We're just average Joe people that love fishing. We're here to learn just as much as you are. So it's going to be an exciting show for listeners, ourselves, guests as well. It's going to be awesome. Look forward to kind of what's in store here. So I guess really, basically, the reason we started this podcast is we just really want to help grow the sport of angling. We want to share the love, the respect for the sport that we have. It doesn't matter if you're new to the sport, if you're buying your first fishing rod, maybe you're a tournament angler, maybe you're a seasoned veteran weekend warrior. We just want to share information and the passion for the sport with you guys. That's really all we're trying to do here.
Yeah, so this year is just kind of a short introduction episode for us. We're kind of aiming for maybe around that half an hour to 1 hour time frame when it comes to the actual episodes of the podcast. So I think that's something that's kind of a good time frame. It's not too long, but not too short, and you can still get a lot of information in that amount of time from whoever we have on.
Absolutely. We want to be the show that you can listen to on the way to work or on the way to the lake.
Yeah, exactly. Preferably on the way to the lake, so you can use the stuff that we're that we're showcasing and maybe take it out on the ice with you. But
Absolutely. So, yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. This is going to be an exciting journey. We appreciate you joining us, and yeah, stay tuned for the next episode.